Okay, I'm gonna try to take a video of this. This thing is incredibly difficult to film, so turn it on. Okay, so now you can see we're in the command line. I'm just gonna show you a couple of interpreter features. We got our keyword O. That's super hard to make it focus, but let's just output 1, 2, 3. Hit enter. Oh, that's horrible. I need to get a camera that I can actually set the focus. So every time you run a program, either just a one-liner from the command line or a whole program, when it gets to the end, it puts out the end of program signal. So you know it's actually finished. So I have one program saved in here. It's pretty simple, but it demonstrates the input and output capabilities as well as, you won't see it in here, but it saves some data to some keywords and then retrieves them. So to run a program, it's saved as, it's the only one, so it's in the first, it's P0. Type that in, hit enter. So basically this is giving us a input, and it's going to assign it to a variable. So I'm going to just say my name is this button right here, the top middle one is the caps lock, so I'm going to make it capital. I'm just going to say my name is, okay, so these buttons on the side, if you hold them down, the right side and the left side, if you hold them down, basically it activates a new key layer, and then it'll also pop this up. And if you let go, it should go away. If you just press the button for a short period of time and let go of it, it'll actually do what the button on the first key layer does. Like, so we can do space. So that does space, but if I hold it down, it activates that key layer. And then this is the backspace. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to say my name is G, hit enter. So it saved G to a variable, and then it combined, concatenated it in the output. Hello G, have a good day, and then end the program. So that's basically, I mean, there's a couple other things I got going on the interpreter. That's all listed on the, shown on the Hackaday page, what I got so far. But what I want to demonstrate is, let me make sure my hotspot's going right now. Okay, I turned that on. So let's do, get the caps lock off. Let's do, so any system command, you do s dot and then the command. So let's do s.w, connect to Wi-Fi. There's a lot of networks around here, and the main network I usually connect to with my computer, it's pretty far away. The Pico, so yeah, we connected, it shows the IP. Now it's trying to get the time from the NTP server. That failed. Let's just try that again. So we can do s.g for get, t for time. Eventually it will work. There's so much Wi-Fi interference here. There we go. Success. So yeah, I've been having a lot of troubles with successful Wi-Fi requests and sockets, so there's definitely some work to do there. So let's do s.gw for get weather. And I was having issues with this just not wanting to work at all, and then sometimes it will work. And first, I first found out it's like there was some memory issues going on, and then yeah, so something is not right. Let's just make sure we're connected to the, okay, let's just do a simple, I was gonna try to connect to my website, and if it gets a 200 response back, it'll show us that. And if that's not working, I mean, because that site is super lightweight. There we go. So we know we're connected. So the weather, that's like, I think it's over a kilobyte of data. So that's probably why we're having some issues. But it's taken a while, so it should work. There we go, success. Okay. So we got the weather data. Now what we can do, so if I had great Wi-Fi here, it would probably happen right away. Like, but so we can do s.c. I don't know why I did it C, but if you do s.c, I had some reason for that. Basically, this shows us our weather data, and it shows. So right now it's about it's almost 11 o'clock. It does 6 hours of the previous weather, as well as 24 hours of the future weather forecast. So that's what it says, start 4:0 up there, which it always starts on an even hour, so I'm just going to take away the minute. Okay, so we can cycle through hitting the escape button on the top left. Shows our temperature graph. The little square at the top, that's our current position in the timeline. And you can see it extends a black bar all the way down through the graph, so you can kind of see where we're at. So it's below freezing outside. Relative humidity, it's pretty high. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so it's always high here in the winter. Precipitation chance, 0. I like to see that. Cloud cover, 2%. Yeah, I can look outside and it's actually a sunny day today. Has been for like 2 days, which is nice. But it looks like we got some clouds coming up. And then the pressure, barometric pressure, that's it's been stable the last few days, and the weather's been really nice, you know. So, but I put this on here because it's like, well, if you want to look at it and you see it just dropping like crazy, then you know something's coming. Okay, so that's that utility. WS, that's for scanning the networks. So this is our available networks right now. When you scan, it saves those networks to a dictionary, and then if I want to connect to one of those, do s.wc, and then let's say I want to connect to RF Blaster there. I can do s.wc2. So we're going to connect to that. It's going to ask for a password. I don't have that right now, but I'm just going to hit space and enter, and this is going to... So I need to make sure it doesn't actually save the password if the password's invalid. I think right now, so if we go back and do, yes, this has failed, but I think what it did was it saved that bad password. So if we try to connect again, yeah, it's going to just try that with the bad password. S.S. So that S.S is going to start a server. So now the server is running. I'm just going to set this down. I can type in a program here with just say, do something real simple. So all this is going to do is set the keyword 0 to 123, and then it's going to output it. So let's do submit. So we go over here, and it says, hold on, let me set this here. So we can see all the connections, data received, use escape to page through data. So it says this is what we just put in there. Do we want to save it? Well, we're going to want to run it to show you. I'm going to make the option of either just running it directly or saving it. So let's just say yes. Okay, so now we want to close down the server. So we just go back over here. type exit. Oh yeah, that worked. I need to put some sort of notification on here when it says when the server shuts down. But so we're out of there. So now that program we just saved is going to be saved in P0. So let's just do P or P1. I mean, oh, that's the wrong. It's kind of I'm. I keep looking at the screen when I'm trying to type to make sure it's still focused and that I'm not looking at the buttons. Okay, we're gonna hit run. There we go. All it did was printed out 1, 2, 3 end of program. So that's the server function. There's other functions. Just if you just want to see the local time. ST. See, it's almost 11. If we want to update the time, if for some reason it didn't work when we first connected to the Wi-Fi, we could do SGT, and that's gonna get the time from the NTP server. Yep, there we go. Updated it. So if we just do SG, I have a default URL, which is my my website just for testing purposes. And right now all it does is it sends a request to that website, and then if the response is 200, which means that we actually loaded it, it just says 200. Let's try to connect to google.com. I don't know why I'm doing Google. It's the only thing I can think of right now. Trying to remember where my M is at. It takes a while to start to get a hang of where everything's at on the key layers. Okay, here we go. So SG, so we're gonna go get google.com. And I think I want to make it so result 302. I can't remember what that code is. U requests, which I'm using on here, they don't really handle redirects very well, so that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other cool features. I have a list of features written down, so let's see. So if we do SZ, this is going to put it in deep sleep, and I think the maximum consumption it's going to do at in this stage is 5 milliamps, but I was doing that through a USB tester, so there might have been other stuff that was pulling power, like because the USB was connected, and the battery might have been charging slightly at the time. So theoretically, you can get down to about a milliamp or under, just under, with the MicroPython, the library I'm using. So basically that puts it into deep sleep, and then you can wake it up by hitting escape. And then there's also SZ, and then you can do a minute for how many minutes you want it to sleep. So 1 through, I think, 70. I'm not going to do that and that goes into, that ends up, that uses quite a bit more power. All we're doing to save power is turning off the Wi-Fi, turning off the screen, and then going into a time sleep MS loop. We can also create a Wi-Fi AP by doing s.wa. Let's do that. Yeah, let's reuse that. Wait, there we go. Let's just reuse the password. I'm not sure where the IP. Oh, It's possible I need to turn off the Wi-Fi and turn it back on. Oh, there it is. It was, there it is. Oh, it's trying to connect. My computer's trying to connect. But let's turn that off. So to turn off the Wi-Fi, we do SWX. Look at that. I think in the system commands, the only other thing I have is the frequency. So if we do, I can't remember where F is at. There we go. We do F. And I basically figured out the maximum and minimum frequency that this thing will handle. So if I do 10, I think 10's too low. So it's going to say bad frequency. But I think 20 is, I think it works fine at 20. So let's do F20. There we go. So the frequency is 20 megahertz. I think if we just do F, maybe that's going to show us. There we go. Yep, it says 20 megahertz. I think we can go all the way up to 250, so let's give that a shot. Oh. Yeah. So we're running at 250 megahertz right now. I think that's it. Well, that's what we got so far. We have all these pins here, so there's going to be system functions for dealing with the pins, and the system functions will be able to be called from the interpreter, just like we were typing them in the command. Yeah, that's it.